In a time that we're laying off software engineers, I'd like to put out the idea that this is absolutely the wrong time to be doing this, particularly for those software engineers who are actively part of DevOps teams. The concept is simple. At some point in the recent past, we felt the need to externalize responsibilities outside of our organizations. So we pushed our workloads into public cloud, which is fine. When we did this, we may or may not have known that our workloads were optimal for the cloud. But now in 2025, with increasing costs, we know that many enterprise workloads are not optimized for the cloud. So we go back a few years. We migrate to the cloud. What's the one rule of migration that we adhere to? Don't make changes during the migration. You make things static for a bit, meaning no changes are made, and then we migrate the workload. You don't optimize, you don't change the database type, you don't use different technologies at all. When your environment comes crashing down on the other side, what do? We have a sigh of relief as systems become up and running again. Now that these systems are migrated, we're back to our release schedules. We have these updates, bug fixes, and feature releases that we're behind on, and we need to get those started. Meanwhile, in modern times, firms start laying off software engineers, meaning that cloud bills are out of control and a lot of buzz starts to form around the idea of repatriation. So, where did we go wrong? Let me explain it as best I can. After our crash landing into the cloud, we needed to begin using the nuanced product sets available in cloud to reduce the cost. We needed to develop the same constraints in the cloud that we had developed on premise. A point here is that we're missing out on the promise of cloud computing to begin with. Had we made the application and developed it in the cloud, we could think about each piece of the architecture, auto scaling up and down, strict tagging policies, strict billing alerts, aggressive deletion of file and server instances that are no longer relevant, and long-term archiving of the data that we are required to keep. So years into the cloud with terribly large bills that we can no longer justify, even when we do the math on CapEx we used to pay, we are laying off software engineers. This is a time where tough decisions need to be made for our collective businesses. We either optimize and take a really hard look at all our systems in the cloud and apply the constraints that we used to have on premise, or we decide to bring the workloads back on premise where we can tolerate a bit of over provisioning because that over provisioning is an easier to digest CapEx expense.